Hi everyone and welcome along. Now, I don't have white paint in my watercolour set. It does exist, it can be useful for certain things, but you don't need it to paint a white item on a page. We're much cleverer than that. So today I've got this really sweet little coastal cottage for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how we create the sense of this lovely white cottage without needing to resort to actual white paint, and how we can make our piece sing even more. So let's see what we need to get started. To paint this country cottage, you will need watercolour paper, cold pressed, mine is 6 by 7 inches, an HB pencil, hard and soft erasers, pointed round brushes, size 0, 2, 4 and 6. Colours I used: lemon yellow, Payne's grey, raw umber, moon glow, burnt sienna, green gold, sap green, cerulean blue red shade, French ultramarine and Windsor blue. 2 jars of water, paper towel for blotting your brush, grab your paints and let's get started. When I'm painting something white in watercolour, I've talked quite a bit about how I have some clever little mixes for painting white flowers, which is a really useful way of doing it. And if you're not sure about what I mean by that, just head up to the search bar on the YouTube channel and you can find all sorts of things on white flowers. But there's another great way of achieving white when you have other things to paint around it. By putting lots of colour around something that you want to remain white on the page, it really helps it glow and look really fantastic. So what I'm just doing is I'm doing a little sort of thatched cottage. So I started off with some quite straight lines, and now I'm just giving it a bit of character by giving it a chimney, and we'll do doors and windows. And if you're on the YouTube channel membership, thank you very much, lovely to have you. You get this line drawing guide included in your membership, and if you're a patron, Daisy tier, you get it too included. And then if you're neither of those but you'd like to have the line drawing guide, you can buy it over on my website shop, wintonpaperco.com. In the shop, they're all there for you. But the other option is you can just follow along with what I'm doing right now, which is also a brilliant option to actually really sort of get your drawing skills up to scratch, and it's a great thing to practice. So we've got a nice little simple country cottage there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it right on the coast, on the shore, and I'm going to have sort of it with the sea behind it, so we'll have a little bit of sort of garden area, but we're going to have the sea, and then in behind I'm going to have some cliffs just sort of coming into the sea, and we'll have a little cove there. But there's the sort of horizon line of the ocean, and you get the general gist, the idea here. So what we've got is a cottage that is going to be white, surrounded by lots of things that we're going to be able to paint to create the impression of a lovely white crisp cottage without having to actually use a white paint. And that's the beauty of watercolour. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my hard eraser to rub out any lines that I don't need, and then my soft eraser to just fade those lines a little bit, which makes it much easier to remove any pencil after we've painted, because ultimately most of it's already gone and will be invisible by the time we've come to paint it. Before we get on with the rest of our landscape, there is one other thing to mention about white, is it is the ultimate reflector of any kind of colour, light, shade, and it often has a little hint of that. So I've got the most delicate pale lemon yellow here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a texture of lemon yellow, and it's going to be almost impossible to see, but I want to put it on the side of the house that has the sun shining on it, and I'm doing it very, very simply, just dabbing it about. I mean, I can even barely see it myself. And then over on here, I'm going to take some really, really faint Payne's grey. My Payne's grey is quite bluey. It's Winsor and Newton. Diluting it right down, and I'm going to paint some textured strokes of that. And that is going to look incredibly white once we've got all our stronger colours built up around it. I just find colour and optical illusion so interesting and amazing when it comes to things like this with watercolour, and I think watercolour is one of the best mediums to really show it off. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And then we can start to very sort of gently and softly put in the bolder colours around the piece. So I've got raw umber and moon glow here, which I find to be a really great thatch colour. And I'm just placing it on very roughly, but you can see I'm creating a bit of a texture with how I've just put it on with those sort of streaks. I find moon glow to be a particularly good colour when you are working with browns that have a lot of yellow in them, like raw umber. It's sort of ochre-y kind of colours. I find if you put Payne's grey with yellow ochres and raw umber, you get quite a weird sort of sludgy green mix, whereas when you've got a burnt sienna, which is a really reddy brown, you put Payne's grey with it and it makes a really gorgeous sort of rich deep brown and grey. So like I said, just really simply placing in the thatch, but immediately the house is looking nice and pale. And now I'm going to take a slightly larger brush, size 4, and start to build up a little bit of the area sort of immediately around the house. I think we'll give them a little front path, a little bit of that sort of slight sludgy, kind of dusty, gravelly thing down the middle. And then I can start to bring in my grassy colours with green gold and sap green. And by going right up to the edge of this white house, again, I'm putting that colour around it, and it's really starting to show up on the page. Now my colours in the foreground are quite bold and bright and vibrant. I want to make sure that my colours in the background aren't quite so much, so I'm going to take some of the sort of sludge, some of the Payne's grey mix, and just get it into the green. You can see how it just sort of desaturates it a little bit, and I'm going to dilute the colour, and look at that, suddenly we've got sort of grassy cliff tops, but it feels just that bit further away. And then I can take all of these colours, get a bit more in there. Oops, there we go. And just start to come down. And I love to use little bits of unpainted space here to get cliff faces. So I just need to be mindful of my chimneys and make sure I've sort of thought about them. And of course we're going to have the ocean in a little bit, but for now I'm just going to use my size 4 brush to build up this texture, which is far away, but also the cliffs are dark, so we will want to add in a little bit extra colour there, but for now we always start with our lighter colours first in watercolour. So you can see by adding just little bits of extra, slightly more concentrated glazes onto that bit, it just really increases the detail and the levels, and then just little bits of green, and we'll put a little bit sort of down there. Lovely. Okay, so the next thing is the water. So we need some blues. Let's bring the palette down here. So all of my different blues, French ultramarine, Windsor blue, cerulean blue, red shade. I'm going to take, again, a slightly large brush and really create a sort of a wash of colour, and make sure it sort of tails off a little bit as it reaches the rocks on the shore, but goes right up to the edge of the house there. I just need to keep my brush moving just to make sure we get lots of nice sort of smooth transitions. It's a hot day today, so it is likely to dry quite fast. And then further off in the distance, I'll just put in some slightly smoother colour. For our horizon there. And then coming down in here, sort of make sure I've got the edge of the house there, and then just really try and create that sense of waves coming in and crashing. But our house is really standing out against the blue. Oh, it's looking really nice. So essentially that pretty much covers the idea of what we're talking about. But then we've got a little house to paint, so let's give it some windows. And I love painting nice simple little windows. And of course this is all going to help contribute to the contrast of the white. I'm just angling my brush low and making sure these ones nearer, because the house is on an angle, we're only going to see part of them, whereas these ones here, we're going to see them fully. Use some of the same colours we've been using. I think I'll do some shutters. So if you're going to maybe a beachside cottage that looks a bit like this, why not get your paints out and have a go at capturing it in the landscape? I think that could be really fun. And actually, what I will say is, for those of you who love the idea of painting but maybe are a bit intimidated by drawing, you might have downloaded the drawing guide for this. And drawing is just something that is a bit of a barrier for you with painting, then you might also love our little colouring booklets that we have, special little booklets in the shop on Etsy and on the website, which are just a really fun little line drawings already done, so you just colour them in. It shows you what colours to use, techniques for getting all the best textures and styles and things, and they are so much fun and really easy and a really nice thing to take on holiday with you in the summer, I think. So go to the website and check those out. Now on here we have got little bits of shadow actually of walls that are facing that way, so I'm going to take some very, very dilute Payne's grey again, and I'm just going to get that little side return in there. And doesn't it look now almost like it's just pure lovely white, but we have got an ever so slight shadow on it, and I think I'm going to add just a little bit to the top of the chimney there. But it just goes to show that you do not need a white paint colour necessarily in watercolour painting, because it does the trick without needing it, just by what you don't paint. Now the only last thing to do is give it a bit of a casting shadow along the ground. So I'm just going to take some of my Payne's grey mix and just, again, not too heavy, and just send it up like that. Bit of texture, bit of extra texture on the wall there. And there you have the simplest of sunny cottages using white, but not using white, if you know what I mean. But I really hope you enjoyed that one. Don't forget, we have lots and lots of lovely tutorials for you to enjoy over summer. But if you enjoyed that house painting tutorial, then I want to show you just in the back of, you will be able to paint with watercolour by the end of this book. So we've got, look, we've got some gorgeous country cottages. We've got all the steps throughout. It's just a really, really useful thing that talks to you all about how to actually get drawing things like that with 2-point perspective. Now don't be too alarmed by something like, sounds a bit technical like that. It's all very, very doable, and I really do think if you are fairly new to watercolour, then this is the book for you to try. So you can get that, also signed copies exclusively in my web shop, thewinterpaperco.com, and on Etsy. So what are you waiting for? For your summer painting, we've got everything you could possibly need. All the brushes as well, the exact same ones I use. And yeah, I just really want to spread the wonderful world of watercolour, because it really is a joy. And you'll find me doing this on my holidays as well, even though it's my day job. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!